Coming up in just a bit, the tough guy from Garden City a year ago, Superman, Steven Jahelka.
Here's Jahelka plowing forward. Touchdown. That's the big guy, Jahelka, busting it up the gut.
If you're gassed, banged up, and you can't go, you go explain that to 42.
And up music. Hey, Mike, we have somebody in the control room here for you.
Oh, my man Jahelka. What's up, Steve?
What's going on, Mike? Just hanging out in the control room.
I missed you, buddy. How's your year been?
It's all right. I think my year's about to be made if Raph pulls out his own rendition of White Houses on the show, though.
I like that. Jahelka's already got something. He'll be out here in just a bit. Hey, we're going to talk about your alma mater, Garden City. Of course, they're at #1, but Garden City made it all the way to the state final, and they lost a heartbreaker in overtime to Jamesville DeWitt. And they had so many great players, and you know how we feel about Steven Jahelka. After the loss, he was good enough to be interviewed, and you could tell not only did the loss hurt, but knowing that he'd never run with his boys at GC again, that meant a lot to him too.
It's kind of surreal, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I got a little emotional before, but just so far, I don't know, I've never thought of this moment. So, you know, we're going to get on the bus, we're going to go home, and we're going to celebrate all the things we did this season. We're not going to concentrate on the negative too much, and we're going to, you know, come together as a team and celebrate one last time.
Well, he's back. What's up, my man?
Good on, Mike.
How are you, buddy?
Just hanging out.
How's Harvard?
It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it exceeded all my expectations, absolutely, in terms of, you know, academics. You know, lacrosse, we felt we didn't do as well as we wanted to next year, but we had a real young team. And then socially, it's awesome up there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That dude that found Facebook, he's a Harvard guy, right?
Yeah. Don't eat lunch with him too much, though.
Let me ask you, was it tougher athletically? You had a 3.6 academically, so you made that look easy. Right. What was easier?
I think both were really challenging. Academically, there was a lot of long nights in the library. I know my buddy Brian Fisher and everyone else at Harvard can attest to that. And athletically, Division I lacrosse is a real grind. You know, it takes up 5 to 6 hours of your day with warming up, actual practice, and then getting treatment on any injuries. So I think both were equally as challenging.
You play in one of the great high school rivalries, Garden City-Manhasset. There's a respect, but a dislike. The first time you played Yale, what was that like?
Yeah. And, you know, there's a lot of Long Island boys on Yale. You got Shane Thornton from Chaminade, Brandon Mangan, who I know very well from Wanta High School. So the combined rivalry of between us Long Island guys and then you had Harvard-Yale, it was pretty surreal.
You're still running around beating people up. The thing that I was disappointed to see was that you wore number 41 and not 42 this year, but you're getting it back.
That's right. Senior captain Paul Pate at 42. Couldn't swindle it from him, but I took it I'll be wearing it next year. He was gracious enough to give it to me.
When you look at lacrosse and academics at Harvard, was there ever a time where you're like, wow, I can't do both at the same time?
I wouldn't say so. I think lacrosse definitely helped academically. I know that sounds pretty confusing, but lacrosse gives you a schedule, so you have to have your classes in the morning, practice in the afternoon, and then by evening you eat dinner and you're just regimented to go to the library and study. You know, there's a week in finals week where our season had been shortened by, you know, the loss to Yale, and I just had way too much time on my hands, and I constantly caught myself wondering what everyone else does when they don't play sports. So, you know, even when I wasn't on the lacrosse field, you know, it's very important to me and every other athlete to definitely have some sort of system.
We loved you in football, 42, just tackling people, running over people in high school. How much did you miss it in college?
Yeah, I knew I was going to miss it, but I didn't think I missed it that much. I was actually...
I knew you would.
The boys at Garden City could tell you that I was actually there on August 26th setting up practice cones because it was pretty surreal. You know, my dad called me as he drove by the practice, and he was even bummed. You know, they're practicing, Steve, and you're not there. But my passion for my own football actually translated into my New York Football Giants, who won the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say it was because of my support, but we can leave it at that.
Did people up there like the Giants, or are they more Patriots fans?
No, I have a buddy at school, Jack Bright from Del Barton, and we were in the minority of Giants fans. So when they won the Super Bowl, we were running around Boston. We were not the most popular guys.
Well, you'll have some reinforcements next year, because I bet you Bobby Duvniak from Manhasset, one of your arch rivals, is now going to be a teammate. A lot like you, football guy, tough, mean, athletic, and loves to get after it like you did.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of playing with Bobby last summer in the Under Armour underclassmen games. He's just a complete package, the real deal. You know, he's a huge guy, big physically, and but he doesn't compromise anything with his quickness. You know, he shuts down the best cover guys week after week. And, you know, he comes from a program that expects him to be at his best. He expects him to be at his best. And I think next year we're all expecting him to just step right in and start for us.
I know another guy who's probably going to start right away. One of your teammates, Devin Dwyer. I know you keep up with the Garden City girls because your sister. Do you follow the boys? Have you had time?
Yeah.
And are you surprised he's even taken his game to a whole new level?
You know, I'm really not. I've been playing with Devin since I was in 3rd grade, and he's still the best lacrosse player I've ever seen. His lacrosse IQ and his stick skills are off the charts. If you look at him this year, he's grown a little physically, and I think he's added the dodging element to his game. And even though he broke the school record for assists, you know, he'll definitely make you pay this year with just going to the goal if you play him as a passer.
Now, is it true for one time in your life he's going to be an opponent of yours pretty soon?
That is a fact, yes. I was fortunate enough to make the U19 USA team, which will be competing in Finland this summer. And one of the things we did was we set up an exhibition game June 16th at Mitchell Field against the Long Island College All-Stars team, studded with, you know, Mike Pellegrino, Brian Fisher, Jake Kambitsky, and Devin for the first time in my life. So
I think we have a promo of that, buddy. Pop that up there, Keith, so everybody knows, because this there is out there at Mitchell Field Saturday night, June 16th. We, I think, are going to televise that game as well.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be weird. You're going to be playing against some of your boys, and now you are a poster boy.
I am a poster boy. Yeah,
What is that like, when you put the colors of the United States on for the first time?
You know, that was an exhibition game in Texas, and that was a pretty surreal experience as well. Because it's one thing to represent your school, and even Long Island at times, but to represent your country is pretty special. And we had John Lade talk to us, who played on the 2008 team, and he said the first time he heard the national anthem up in British Columbia when he played, he actually cried. So, I mean, I can only imagine what it's going to feel like, and I can't wait to have that feeling.
Because you've been maroon and white your whole life.
That's right. And I mean, that influenced my choice at Harvard, the colors.
I did not notice this when you handed it. You got 42.
That's right. I definitely took it back.
Now, do you get to keep these jerseys when it's done?
I really do hope so.
Oh, you got to frame that, man.
I'll give it to you.
That'd be so you wouldn't give it to him?
To Raph. I mean, me and Raph are Twitter buddies.
And who picked Garden City last year?
That's right. I was always talking with Raph. He's the only one to pick Garden City over Cary. That prediction still is in my room.
Is it really?
It is. It's actually in the kitchen, because my dad likes to look at it, too.
Honestly, if Raph made a prediction, I'd put it in the bathroom. All right, we got to get to some girls stuff.
Wait, no.
What?
Before he leaves,
yeah.
I won his prediction on the lacrosse championships this weekend.
Good job, Raph.
The Final Four.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, yeah. So I actually have a strong feeling about Notre Dame and Maryland in their semifinal games. You know, because both are defensively inclined. You know, Coach Warren I'm very familiar with, and you know, a lot of Long Island guys on Maryland. So that's why I'm picking it for the national championship. You got Chanachuk, Earhart, Rafa, Lacasio. Who am I forgetting? Someone.
And if Rafa's on Maryland, I mean,
and now
Rafa, I mean, come on.
I got the Terps going all the way, man.
Because a kid, Charlie, I mean, I like Charlie.
I mean, I love Charlie. It's more of the goalie, Nico Amato. You know why? Because he reminds me a little of my boy Marino.
You like him? Danny, big time, right?
Oh, big time. Best goalie I played with.
Tell you what, Fowler's closing the gap.
I don't know. I got trust in my boy Marino.
My man. It's great to see you, buddy.
Absolutely.
It's great to see your parents come in here. Your sister's going after another state title. It's a good thing. Raph.
Yeah, Mike.
So we talked about some of our boys, and Clark's going to talk about them. You've brought 4 girls that you say from the tri-state have made a huge impact.
Well, Final Four this week.